Hey guys, well, welcome back to Old Time Garage. It's been a week now, so we're going to show you what went on this week. If you remember last week, I was mentioning to you about my friend Mikey's little 54 Chevy Pickup that we had color controversy over. Well, we finally got it figured out. I told you that 5 times we've changed the color, but only twice on the truck have we had to change it. And we have sprayed out panels, but it just, yeah. Anyway, let's forget about that. Anyway, so here's the truck. I don't know if you remember from the very first video, if you go back to it, you'll see this truck sitting out in the carport area. Since you've seen it, we've put the doors on it now. We've got all the doors back on it, and like I said, the interior has it's all painted. Everything is done, all the edges, everything is over with, so that's all back together. Obviously not the upholstery or the seat, that's near the end, or the glass. So, closes nice, as you can tell. All the lines are lining up perfectly. So we've got the doors back on, we've sprayed, it's going to be pretty hard for you to see. We sprayed all the firewall, we've done all the lips of all the fenders, all that. We've got the front fenders back on the truck since you've seen it. This piece here I'm just putting on it to make sure the hood lines up. It still has to be primered and then and painted. So, but right now we've got, like I say, we've put the fenders on, we've gotten the doors on within the week I've seen you. We assembled the dash, we've put the hood on, and that's pretty much all we've done on this truck. This actually here, you can't really tell, but this was one of the first colors we had picked, or I should say Mikey had picked. And then it went to another color, then another color, and then the 4th color he said, yes, that's the color. So I went and painted all the firewall, all the lips, I painted everything, and then when he saw the color outside, he was like, oh my God, I don't like that color. So, resand and repaint again. Now you're probably thinking, don't you guys spray it out on a test pattern? I did. I sprayed it on a piece of metal that was yay big. So anyway, like I say, that's a different topic. It's over. Thank God it's done with. It was a nightmare. But anyway, there we go. So that's what's going on with this truck today. So here is the story of the week. Take a look at this mess. Holy shit. Look at this. So a good buddy of mine phones me up, a body man painter, and says to me, I went and looked at a job. I don't want to get too involved in it. Maybe you'd be interested in it. It's a 1960 Mercedes. And he's a good friend of mine, and I'm not mad at him. Actually, I think this is hilarious. I'm going to rip this guy for the rest of his life now. So he says to me, he says, the car is out in a different town. You got to go take a look at it and see what you think. And I ask him, well, what's wrong with this car? He says, the lower splash apron has got around 3/4 of an inch of Bondo in it. And as you can see, I was in there today, 3/4 of an inch of Bondo, if not more, everywhere. So I says, oh yeah. He says, well, the splash apron just unbolts, and the fender needs repair just on the corner, and that's it. He goes, I just don't want to do it. I don't have time. Can you think you can handle it? So I says, you know what? I'll give me the guy's phone number, and I'll phone this guy up, and you know, I can sneak it in between things, because like if you look back in my other videos, I've got like 4 goddamn cars that got to be done for the 1st of June. Plus I want to go on holidays, and I've got 2 of my own cars I want to have built. So I think I can sneak this in and get it done within 5 days. So I phone this gentleman up, and I tell him who I am, and he looks into all of them. He checks me out, does all the references, and he says, yep, okay. So I said, okay, well, I says, it's just a splash apron in the fender, correct? And he says, yes, it is. So I says, okay, I'll come down and pick the car up. I won't come and see it. I'll just come pick the car up. All right. So Friday, I go to get the car, and it's supposed to be sunny out. I should have took that for a good start, because it pissed down rain, and I got fucking soaked. So I go pick the car up, and when I get there to get this car, it's sitting there. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, the splash apron doesn't come off. How are you gonna blend it? So anyway, if you can see this on this video, if you come around this way, you're gonna see that this car, it's a unibody car, and it's all one piece. And there's no way that I'm going to color match this paint in here. It's just, some people might try it and rub it with solvents afterwards to try and color match it. I don't do that, because you always get a line here somewhere. So what I got to do is I got to now sand this whole car. Well, not the whole car, but I got to sand the whole front nose. There's a cutoff line here, and I can do it here. Take the hood off, and I got to sand all the fenders, fix all the front, and repair all that. So this is what's got to be done. So now, this isn't just a quick job. So when I meet the gentleman and we start looking the car over, now remember I said it was raining the day I went to get the car, and he had already pushed the car outside in the rain. So it's out in the rain, it's a low car when it's on the ground, so to me it didn't look all that bad. So I get home here Friday and I put it up on the hoist, and the more I start looking at this car, the more I see, oh my God, I don't know who did this car. It must have been a 2-year-old. The poor guy got ripped off. And he knows he got ripped off because I called him up and I said, I want you to come back over here and look at this car. And he came over here, and this poor guy just, you probably can't see it in the video, but this thing has got, I'm not going to say waves, because waves are like this to me. This thing is full of ripples, just like little ripples everywhere. They're down the whole body of the car. And, you know, it's just, so I mean, the thing here is with this car right now, is that if I start, I'm going to repair all the front area. And as you can see, what I did here today, this was so badly, I mean, it probably looks like shit to you even right now. You should have seen it today. It was even worse. We cut this right off of here. You can see we cut it. We cut it, we put it on the ground, and we started banging it the best we could to try and shape this thing again. Now this is all going to come off, and we're going to hammer and dolly it out. And trust me, we will hammer and dolly it out, and we'll get it back to how it should be. And there will be just very light filler in it. And I will show you photos as it goes along, or I'll keep you on videos as it goes along here. So we've just cut it today. We're going to try, tomorrow we're going to get it welded up, and we're going to start getting this thing banged out and straightened up. But, I mean, I don't know what to tell you here. I'm lost for words. You can tell I'm struggling on this video. The question here now is that this gentleman has seen the car, and he has asked me, how much more is it going to take to redo the car? He bought this car as an investment. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm a sucker for punishment because I can't say no to work. And I'll work out here until midnight if that's what it takes. It's just what I do. My hours are Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. But you know what? I'm out in the shop every day at 7 a.m. in the morning. And I'm out here to 7, 8 o'clock at night. And I'm supposed to work 5 days a week. I work 6 days a week. And then after that, I'm inside doing bills or looking up parts for people. I mean, for all you guys out there that think us guys that restore cars are millionaires and make lots of money because you see what we charge you, we don't make nothing. It's all material and shit like that. We just survive. Trust me. If you don't believe me, go to YouTube and watch my friend Pete. He'll tell you how it is. And if you think I swear, wait till you hear him. Way to go, Pete. I love you. Anyway, so this car, like I say, it's just, I don't even know where to begin. So this is where I'm at right now. You guys tell me, what do I do? What do I do? This gentleman's asked me to redo the, he's asking me if maybe we should redo this car, and you know, even the fenders, if you feel them, you can't see it, but they're wavy. And unfortunately, the job he hired me to do was to fix around this headlight and to fix the lower pan. And I think, to be honest, that's all I'm going to do. Even though we got to repaint, or I should say re-clear the whole fenders, I'm not going to get into doing any body work on these, because if I do, what's going to happen is wherever I work on it, it's going to look absolutely beautifully straight, and it's going to make the rest of the car look even worse. So the best thing to do on this car is, unless the gentleman wants to take this car and strip it right down and start over, he's probably best just to let me repair the small area it is and leave it alone. So we got to be making the phone call here later tonight after this video and have a word with this gentleman, and you know, unless he maybe wants to remortgage his house to pay me to do this car, I don't think we're going to be tackling any much more than what you see here, and even that's a nightmare. But anyway, so there's my shocker of the week. This is how my week is beginning. So let's come on into the bay here. If you remember correctly, last time we had left off with the 71 Chevy Pickup. So I have finished roughing in all the bodywork on this truck now. If you remember, I had sandblasted it and done all the welding on it. And now I've roughed in all the bodywork, and I've shot it in my my etch primer. Now, this is another big topic and a big controversy out there, and this can cause fights, and it can cause a lot of arguing. People will say, do you etch primer, or do you do epoxy sealer primer over bare metal? And you know what? At the end of the day, if you look on all the topics on this, there's pros and cons to both. They're both even right down the board. I've got an etch primer on here is what I've got on here. And when I do the body work, that's another thing people will say is, do you primer and then do your body filler over the primer, or do you put the body filler over the metal? For me, personally, I sandblast everything or strip it to metal. If I am going to strip it to metal, I don't want to sandblast it. I use aircraft paint remover stripper, and I do it that way. I like to do my body work on the metal itself. I like a rough surface, especially when it's been sandblasted. You get that, everyone out there who's into cars probably knows what I mean by that gritty feeling when you sandblast something, or you might even soda blast it, which is not as rough feeling. But I like to do my bodywork right on the metal itself because I think it adheres to it, it sticks better to it. Then I like to etch primer everything afterwards. Now, the etch primer I'm using does not, it's compatible with my body fillers. I'm in Canada. I don't know anyone who might be watching from the United States. We have different products between the two of us and some stuff we share together. I don't think the etch primer I'm using is available for you guys. So anyway, it works good for me. And what I do now, after I etch primer it, normally I would have sprayed this in a 2-part filler primer after that, because like I say, I've done the body work, and then I will block it all, and then I will filler primer it one more time and leave it sit for a while, and then come back to it after a few weeks or sometimes a month, depending how, because this is a project vehicle, because sometimes if there is any kind of shrinkage or anything with the fillers, at least it's happened now rather than painting it right away and then you get shrinkage and you're like, oh my god, what's that circular line in your paint, right? And it's shrinkage of the body filler. So I like to leave things sit up for a while, personally, myself. So there's controversy there. Etch primer, like I say, and sealer primer. I'm really not going to give my opinion on it because I don't want to cause a fight. My videos are just out there for you guys to watch and have fun with. I have good luck with it. So anyway, that's where we left off. This is all ready to go now. We're gonna filler primer it now, and we're gonna block it out this week, and then we're gonna filler primer it again, and we're gonna leave it sit. The cab is good, ready to go, and that's that. So yeah, that's about all we did within the last week here, guys. If you have any questions, like I say, feel free to shoot me an email. I may not get back to you right away. I don't watch the computer every day. I usually check my email thing like every week or something like that. But I want to thank you guys that have been writing back to me. I really appreciate that. I really didn't want to do these videos, but some friends of mine said I should be doing them. And you know what? I'm kind of having fun doing them. I mean, it's all fun. So hopefully that was a good video for you, and I hope to see you next time. And that's it. Talk to you later.